person was that I was making better money, you know, then I would be able to pay my ticket, you know, and not have to go through problems.
Él se rió por lo que le dije, pero es la realidad que pasa todos los días.
And he laughed at what I said, but you know, it's the reality that happens, you know, every day.
Que lo que recibimos de CalWorks no nos ayuda para nada.
Okay, you know, that what we receive from CalWorks doesn't help us for anything.
And here it is June 8th, and she hasn't gotten her check for
Es el 8 de junio
June,
y
right?
todavía no ha recibido su cheque para junio.
No.
No, not yet.
Can you tell us a little bit more about how you got involved with working with Power and organizing?
Si usted puede hablar un poco más de cómo usted empezó a involucrarse con Power y organizar.
Ajá. En abril del 99,
So in April of 1999,
yo ahorita voy a un grupo de apoyo por 5 años.
so right now I've been going to a support group for about the last 5 years.
Cada semana voy a ese grupo de apoyo.
So every week I go to this support group.
Y en ese grupo de apoyo yo en abril del 99 estaban repartiendo unos flyers de la organización Power.
So then in my support group in April of 1999, somebody was sort of sharing or handing out flyers for Power at the support group.
Y me llamó mucho la atención leer lo que ellos estaban haciendo por tratar de lograr un salario digno para la gente.
And then it drew my attention a lot reading what the flyer was talking about around trying to get a living wage for people.
Y fue cuando yo llegué a Power y hasta este año estoy acá organizándonos para lograr un mejor salario.
So then from that point, you know, I came over here to Power, and from sort of that point on, we've been, you know, trying to organize to get a better wages, a better salary for people.
And one of the things that we want to talk about is what the promises were made in terms of the living wage for CalWorks and GA workers and what has actually happened.
Para CalWorks y GA, lo que ha pasado ahora. Entonces, ¿qué son las promesas que ellos hicieron sobre el salario digno, en la campaña de salario digno, y qué ha pasado con eso en la realidad? ¿Se han cumplido con la promesa?
Cuando nosotros en Power estuvimos en la lucha para lograr el salario digno,
So when us in Power were in the struggle for the living wage,
el antiguo director del Departamento de Servicios Humanos
the old director from the Department of Human Services in San Francisco,
se comprometió, que nos hizo muchas promesas
so he agreed to some stuff. He made us basically a lot of different promises.
de darles trabajos, de darnos trabajos a la gente que estamos en CalWorks y en GA.
To give jobs to us who are in CalWorks and in GA.
Pero hasta la fecha ellos no han cumplido con, diría, ni el 1% de sus promesas.
But up till now, they haven't, you know, even completed up to 1% of the promises that they've made.
Porque solo una cosa que ellos han hecho de reducir las horas, pero no lo hicieron ni el tiempo que se comprometieron, ni a tiempo cuando ellos debieron de haberlo hecho.
Right. So the one only thing that's been followed through with basically from the agreements and promises that they made is that they would reduce the number of hours for workfare workers, which is the only thing that they followed through with. And even with that, they didn't complete it by the time that they said they were going to complete it, or by the time that they should have had it done.
Y ellos prometieron muchas cosas a nosotros, pero la realidad es que han pasado ya tiempo y hasta la fecha ellos solo nos dan, ahora ya ni siquiera promesas, solo nos dicen mentiras.
Right. So yeah, I mean they promised us a lot of different stuff, but up until now, I mean essentially none of it's been done, and even at this point, they're not even really giving us promises anymore. They're just lying to us about what happened or what's going to happen.
Okay. So what are some of the current organizing you're doing around that?
Entonces, ¿cómo estamos organizando ahora? ¿Qué vamos a hacer ahora con esta situación? ¿Cómo estamos organizando esta campaña ahora?
Pues estamos organizándoles, poniéndoles presión para que se junten con nosotros, con la gente más necesitada y más afectada, y nos escuchen a nosotros junto con las organizaciones que nos están apoyando.
So right now what we've been doing is trying to organize and build to put pressure on them so that they meet with us directly, the people who are the most affected in different organizations to basically to meet with us.
Ajá, y la manera como estamos poniendo la expresión es que estamos pidiendo que se reúnan con nosotros, hacer una conferencia de prensa donde la gente lo pueda ver, lo mentirosos que ellos son, y a veces les da vergüenza, y ellos pueden cumplir con lo que prometen.
So, and one of the ways we're trying to put pressure on them is we're trying to ask them to come out and have a press conference with us around the promises that they made, so that they feel sort of shameful and embarrassed about sort of how they've been behaving themselves and how they haven't been following through with the promises, and that they then feel the pressure to sort of follow through with what they've said.
Porque tenemos que estarle nosotros, la gente afectada, ponerle presión a estos políticos y a toda la gente que nos está dañando más, porque ellos siempre están diciendo a la prensa que ellos le dan a la gente pobre y que ellos hacen mucho para los pobres, pero la realidad es que ellos no es cierto, ellos no hacen nada por la gente pobre.
Because I think what we need to do is put pressure on the politicians, those of us who are the most affected by all this stuff that's going on, because the politicians get in the media and say, you know, we're doing all of this to help the poor people, we're doing this and we're doing that, but in reality they're not doing anything. So we need to be able to put the pressure on them.
Thank you very much.
¿Cómo pasa?
Okay, could you introduce yourselves?
Sí, puede introducirse usted.
Sí, mi nombre es Nora Calderon.
So my name is Nora Calderon, and my name is Jason Negron. I'm a lead organizer here at Power.
Y yo soy miembro de Poder por 2 años y medio.
And I've been a Power member for 2.5 years.
A little bit complicated, so we're gonna try to get through it. So has anybody ever heard that song, We've Been Working on the Railroad? Oh yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do it right now. So we've been slaving in the city all the live long day, but we never get a paycheck. Now we demand fair pay. My mama always used to tell me, don't make a promise that you won't keep. The mayor needs to learn that lesson. Don't cheat the workers like some creep. Now Willie needs to keep his promise, and the supervisors too. It's time to put your money where your mouth is if you know what's good for you. You need to fund the jobs that you promised. We need jobs now for city green. It's time to give the workers what we deserve. A living wage is what we need. Keep your promise, fund community jobs. 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 Alright, so how's everybody doing out here? How's everybody doing out here? Alright, so what did everybody come out here for? Jobs! What did everybody come out here for? Jobs! Did you all come out here for broken promises? Did you all come out here for broken promises? Alright, well the reason why we're out here today is because the city has made a broken promise. Has made a broken promise to some of the hardest working people in San Francisco. Each day, every day, San Franciscans who are receiving public assistance wake up to sweep the streets, clean muni buses, do laundry over at San Francisco General Hospital, all for as low as $305 a month. But
the persistence of workfare workers and the Living Wage Coalition, we were able to force the city to agree to create jobs, 850 jobs for workfare workers paying $8 an hour. But the city has not followed through on that promise. Not surprisingly, but also not surprising, is that we've been able to turn out hundreds of people from the community to force the city to fund the 850 jobs that they promised. So today, we have a few speakers from the community who are going to come speak their perspective about why it is that it's important to have community jobs for workfare workers, and then we're going to go visit the Board of Supervisors as they make decisions about whether to give money to the largest corporations in San Francisco or whether to give money to working people in San Francisco. So our first speaker is one of the people who was the hero of the living wage movement, a workfare worker from San Francisco General Hospital, and also a power member, Larry Lattimore.
Hello, everybody. It's warm out here, huh? Yeah. There's a little heat up there, too. What do you think? Yeah, well, my name is Larry Lattimore, and I'm a member of POWER, a proud member, I might add. And POWER stands for People Organized to Win Employment Rights. And I happen to be a workfare worker, too. And I work long and hard over at General Hospital, trying to keep it sanitary. But the problem is, doing negotiations for what the mayor calls the minimum compensation ordinance, the living wage decided they would negotiate a promise from Willie that he would actually fund 850 community job initiative jobs for CalWorks parents and GA workers. Now, that was supposed to take place in January. It is now June, and we still don't have them. Not only that, but there's not money in the budget for so that these 850 jobs can be financed. Now, we know that this budget is $5.2 billion. And all we're asking for is $3.9 million. I mean, that's less than 1%. That's just a little. For every dollar, that's just like a penny. That's not very much money. And these people do hard work, and the fact that the city is clean means that they must be doing something right. I mean, how much dirtier could it have been if they did not work? So that's what I'm saying. It's very valuable to keep tourists coming in here. And so in order to do that, the city needs to be clean. Those buses, thank you. Those buses are, get washed, and we've had problems with the working conditions out there. So not only is the job hard, but sometimes there's obstacles placed in our way just in order to get the job done. I don't want to keep you, but this is what we are here for. We got to get the mayor to commit to actually funding the job that he's already promised. And that's not hard to do. We got to make enough noise to make you know that we're serious. And there's many people. At one time, there was 2,000 workfare workers. They was all over the place cleaning up on San Francisco. There's a lot of programs that they come up with that are just different synonyms for no job. You can be trained forever and not have one job. So I'm going to hand it back over to Steve. We're going to bring up some more people. And I just want to hear you guys. Is anybody out there mad? Yeah! Are we going to take this anymore? No! Well, then let's do something about it. What do you say?
No peace, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace, no justice, no peace. Okay, now a lot of people at the beginning of the living wage fight said welfare recipients shouldn't be in the living wage ordinance. Welfare workers aren't even workers. They're welfare recipients, right? All across the country, cities have been passing living wage ordinances left and right? Not in one living wage
wage ordinance had workfare workers, welfare recipients been covered as low and no wage workers. San Francisco was the first city to count workfare workers and welfare recipients as low and no wage workers to be protected by the living wage ordinance. Our next speaker is Barry Hermanson, one of the co-chairs of the San Francisco Living Wage Coalition. Barry Hermanson.
Thank you, Steve. It's been a long time. I'm really glad to see all of you here today. We started this about 3 years ago, I think. And it's really good to see so many of you still here today fighting. We've come a long way, and we still have a long way to go. We need these jobs. We need these jobs at $8 an hour. It actually should be higher than that. As you know, our legislation last year was passed at $9 an hour, moved up to $10 an hour this year. That's still not enough to live on in this city, in the Bay Area. We have a long way to go. I'm looking forward to stepping inside and be able to tell the Board of Supervisors that we need to fund this. We need to find the money to pay people to do this work. Fund the community jobs. Thanks.
All right, so we want funding for this community jobs program. Do we think that the mayor's just going to give it to us out of the kindness of his heart? Do we think that it's going to take a fight to get this community jobs initiative program? Is it going to take a fight? Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight? All right, so the next speaker is from the San Francisco Labor Council, right? Labor joining together with welfare recipients. The city got to be scared. The city got to be scared, right? Unemployed workers, employed workers join together. Our next speaker from the San Francisco Labor Council, Walter Johnson.
The city has to be scared, right? We're going to make it look like this.
That's right.
I'm afraid because the people are speaking out. Anyway, I'm making like Franklin Roosevelt said, be brief, be sincere, and be seated. I can't sit, but I'm going to make it brief. First of all, we're really talking about a lot of money here. Isn't that a shame? Yes. It's really a shame. Here's what we're talking about. Looks like a couple of cents to me. But anyway, I have here a woman named Emma. And Emma is one of those that is entitled to a raise. Now, when Emma goes someplace, like she goes to a grocery store, or she gets on the bus or something like that, does she have special rates to buy the groceries? No! Does they say, okay, oh, Emma, you're going to get a little bit savings here because you're not making a minimum, you're just making minimum wage, not even making $8 an hour. So then the question I have, and for the city and for the mayor and the Board of Supervisors, this very nice woman here, she told me that she was a very nice woman in there. I think, and I feel kind of bad, that she's getting minimum wage when all she's asking for is $8. So now it comes down to, are we not fighting for just to talk about it? We're talking to the Emmas of the city and county of San Francisco, is that right? Yeah! And they keep the city clean, they do all this other work, and they're entitled to not just the minimum wage, and even $8 an hour is not enough. So the San Francisco Labor Council joining the fight. We have affiliates, 100 and some affiliates. We have 80,000 members. And if we have to fill the streets more than this, we're going to do it to get the message across that the people are going to fight and win. The question is, can the people fight the money? And the answer, of course, we're going to do that. And Emma, I want to tell you here, and we're all going to say it to Emma, that we're not going to rest until Emma gets a decent wage and $8 an hour and more. Is that right? Can we count on you? Okay, Emma, I just want to thank you very much for coming up here. And before I get off, I want to thank Barry for all the good work that he's done over these years. Let's give him a big hand, too, because he's been carrying on the battle. Okay, thank you very much.
minute ago, we talked about the fact that the city should be scared about employed workers, unemployed workers uniting. Well, there's another reason why the city should be scared, because of this woman right here. Emma Harris, the most dangerous woman in San Francisco. If you don't know about Emma Harris, you don't know. Emma Harris been featured in the Bay Guardian. Emma Harris been in Wisconsin to talk to thousands of people about the welfare workers struggle in San Francisco. Emma Harris put a foot up the ass of Muni when they were trying to put people in porta potties instead of the real bathrooms the workers were using. And right now, I'm about to scare some people upstairs who don't want to break off the money. I give you Emma Harris.
Until we win. I clean buses at Muni. It was hard work, and all the people who clean the street, the buses, the hospitals deserve minimum pay. We need 850 jobs for all the people who go out there and have experience and do hard work. We deserve a living wage and to be not looked down on, to be looked up on, and respect. Have respect. Because they don't respect us. They treat us like dirt. And we do all the work while they watching us and walking around not doing anything. And we deserve these 850 jobs. And we deserve more money than what we get. We get less than minimum wage, and that's less than $5. That's too little to live on. And say even the hotels, everywhere people live, it's too hard to live in the city and everywhere with the little pay we get. We get from $288 to about $364. And that's not enough to live on anywhere. And we deserve to have more than what we getting. And I say that we deserve to have our rights today, every day. We'll be living in San Francisco and all over the world. People shouldn't have to fight to live. That's right. And people power. Yeah, people power. So keep fighting and never give up, because we gotta keep on fighting until we win. Yeah. When we win, we still gotta fight. That's right.
¿Qué queremos? Trabajos. ¿Cuándo? Ahora. ¿Qué queremos? Trabajo. ¿Cuándo? Ahora. What do we want? Jobs. When do we want them? Now. What do we want? Jobs. When do we want them? Now. Now the reason we want jobs is because the last time I tried to get on the bus with a promise, the bus driver didn't let me on. The last time I tried to pay my rent with a promise, the landlord started talking about a 3-day notice. What we want is jobs so that working people can live and survive and support our families in San Francisco, and no promises. No more broken promises. We're out here today to get the word out so that folks know about the Community Jobs Initiative. We invited all the members of the press to be able to come and report on all of the important work that's going on, but we know that sometimes the press doesn't show up to important events. Sometimes the press doesn't report on what it is that it needs to report on. And so what we've done is develop our own press, the community press, the press that's able to report on the struggles, successes, and victories of low-income, poor people in San Francisco and across the globe. And so next up, we have some poor journalists from Poor Magazine, Lisa Garcia, Tiny, and the community journalists.
This welfare recipient, me, living my life on welfare, dealing with homelessness, poverty, not being able to survive and deal with my family, I got support, I got awareness from realizing that I wasn't bad just because I was on welfare. Yeah. I got that because of the work that Power did, of the work that Living Wage did. So when I decided that I could write, because someone told me, hey, here's a pen, you can write. What did I write about? I write about my poverty. I wrote about solutions that come from all of us. Because we know how to get up and out of poverty. We've been there. So, bottom line is, when they say welfare to work, we say, what work? Let's talk about welfare to work. And what the hell does that really mean? They got $2.9 billion you folks. Poor Magazine had a contract with those folks, and it was hell. Because we said, hey, go to train people in 30 and 60 days and put them out in the workforce and they're going to be okay. We know that because we've been there, we're there now. So you take those dollars and you turn them into jobs. Not no $6, $7 an hour jobs, but living wage jobs. That's what the Jobs in the Media program is about. We're down with all y'all because we have a job creation program. $15 an hour, living wage, medical benefits, child care, because that's how you get folks off of welfare. Let's hear it, folks. So, at Poor Magazine, we have a program called the Jobs in the Media program. All of us poor folks coming up out of poverty, writing about our experience. And I'll invite any of you guys to come on by and speak up. We're down on 9th Street, and it's an open news process. We have newsmakers here today who just want to say a few words about it. Leroy Moore is our first community journalist.
Politicians equal promise, but community equal reality. My name is Leroy Moore, and I'm a staff writer at Poor Magazine. Without Poor Magazine and other small media outlets, stories like the recent police shooting of Irish Staley will be buried in our one newspaper town.
That's right.
Poor Magazine was the only news outlet that put the story back in the hands of its parents, friends, and local advocates.
Yeah.
Now that the .com craze is over, thank God, let's make news more about the people who live in our community. It's not up to the politicians, it's up to us. At Poor Magazine, the people in the community are the reporters, researchers, and writers of their own stories, which affects their communities. Poor Magazine Jobs program will continue this tradition, but it will also create employment for low and no income individuals. And they will report, cover, and create written articles on their community in this one Hearst town. It's up to us to make the media. Fuck the Chronicle.
A.F.A. Hicks, another work proud journalist, poet, writer, and workfare worker.
Hello, my name is A.F.A. Miss Hicks, they call me in the shelter. My daughter was took from me when she was 3 years old by this system. And then the next one when he was 1 month old because I went to get protection for child molesting from my husband and beating me up, woman abuse. And now I am in the shelter, but I'm gonna stand up. My daughter is 15 years old now, you know, and I'm not a stupid person. I'm a graduate from Laney College, and this has broke my heart, destroyed my family. Okay, so I know I can pay rent, but where am I gonna pay rent? A woman alone in an SOSO hotel filled with police as a criminal and other people as a criminal. I am not a criminal. I love children. I was Woman of the Year in Oakland, child care. You know, but they treated me like I was a criminal when I went to court. Not my husband. They treated me when I wanted protection. Thank you very much, Ms. A.F.A. And I work with ROB Media Alliance, and I write poetry. And I'm going to write about this and the free sheets and the spirits of the streets. Thank you.
Right. So that's the kind of media that we're putting out. I'm just to say, end this day by saying, poor folks have to tell their story because we have pain on top of pain inside of pain. And the only way we're going to get change is to put that pain out there and solve it. And that's what this is about. So thank you, everybody.
Bye. Goodbye. I'm
Joe and asked Joe, he don't know, which means I know a lot because I kind of do research. I hate research though. Right now, is doing stuff on the president and Pushkin and how we're going backwards to the missile defense system. I'm not supposed to know about this shit, but I kind of like doing this. And everybody, you all know certain stuff. You all know certain things. We got to vote people out. We got to get these jobs, living wage. We have to get this place back on track. We got to get rid of these men.
Right. Right. Thank you very much.
All right, folks. Is everybody hot? I want to make sure that everybody's hot. Everybody's hot? I just want to be clear that it's going to get much hotter for them at 1 o'clock, because at 1 o'clock, the Finance Committee of the Board of Supervisors is start talking about where they're going to give out their money. Do they give their money to Bank of Apartheid? Do they give their money to Wells Fargo? Or do they give their money to workfare workers, the folks who are doing the work of San Francisco? So it's on us, all of us, at 1 o'clock, once this press conference is over, to head upstairs in a nice orderly fashion, maybe singing a song, and then turn up the heat a little bit on the Board of Supervisors. One of the best organizations in San Francisco of turning up the heat is about to be represented next. You may have heard before about the attempts from lots of different folks in the city trying to kick them out of the mission, but like fighters, they've been staying in the mission, fighting to get a new office space. Another sector of low and no wage workers, the San Francisco Day Laborers Program, and Eduardo Palomo.
Muchas gracias, compañeros, por haber venido. Mi nombre es Eduardo Palomo y soy un representante del Day Labor Program de San Francisco. Pero nosotros soportamos que lo que promete Willie Brown lo cumpla.
Thank you, my brothers and sisters. I'm here to speak on behalf of the San Francisco Day Labor Program to also demand that what Willie Brown has promised that he come through with.
Por eso vamos a estar viniendo cada manifestación, a cada momento en que él nos quede mal, porque él ha prometido. Y él hizo un juramento, igual que el presidente Bush, hacen juramentos, y esos deberían de estar presos, porque esos juramentos no los cumplen.
Willie Brown made us a promise, just like George Bush makes promises. Well, these guys should go to jail for standing up and saying things and not following through with them.
Por eso, si son tan ciudadanos y tan cumplidores, deben de, cuando hacen su juramento de que no debe haber más pobreza en este mundo, es cuando deben de cumplir y no deben de estar ahí diciendo, yo prometo, yo haré esto, yo les daré trabajo a los trabajadores de aquí de California y no nos los dan.
So they shouldn't say what they don't mean when they say that they're going to give us a living wage and that they are concerned about poor people's rights. It's all a lie.
Eso es lo que yo puedo decir solamente. Pero sí, o sea, le pedimos a Willie que cumpla, que no esté ahí prometiendo nada más, que cumpla su promesa de que iba a darles trabajo a la gente del welfare, que no iban a estar más gente en las calles tampoco, y no ha prometido nada. Queremos vivienda para los desamparados también.
So that's what I have to say, that Willie Brown fulfill his promises to make sure that welfare workers get paid, that no one is homeless on the streets here in the city.
Es todo, gracias.
Thank you very much.
What was that?
Put some action behind the promises.
Put some action behind the promises. Who wants some action behind the promises? Are y'all ready to fight? Yeah! Are you ready to fight? Yeah! Right! Are you ready to fight? Yeah! Right! One of the organizations that's been fighting one of the greediest, nastiest, ugly corporations in San Francisco for more than 10 years is about to come up from Local 2, HERE Local 2. We have the president, Mike Casey.
Sisters and brothers, it's indeed a shame we have to be out here today
when the corporations have stolen $70 or $80 million from this city, and we're fighting to get wages from $6.29 to $8 an hour. That's a shame. There were 3 commitments made during the living wage fight. For the living wage itself, for the healthcare accountability ordinance, and to bring up the community jobs. The third of those commitments has not yet been fulfilled. Local 2, the Hotel Workers Union stands shoulder to shoulder with the sisters and brothers from the community to fight for those jobs. And $8 isn't enough, and we're going to go beyond that, right? Right. All right, well, we're there with you. Thank you. So next, we have a special treat for y'all. You don't want to go anywhere. You don't want to miss this woman speak. From Power, People Organized to Win Employment Rights, Nora Calderon.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good afternoon, everybody. Mi nombre es Nora Calderon y soy miembro de Poder. My name is Nora Calderon and I'm a Power member. Les voy a decir un poquito qué significa ser miembro de Poder. I'm going to tell you all a little bit about what it means to be a Power member. Poder es una organización que lucha por los derechos de la gente pobre, de la gente obrera, de la gente trabajadora. So Power is an organization that fights for the rights of poor people, of low and no wage worker, of working class people. También ahorita estamos enfocados en la gente que estamos en los programas de GA y CalWorks. Right now we're focusing on the campaign for jobs for CalWorks and GA recipients. Y estamos aquí tenemos un problema grande en esta ciudad de San Francisco. We're here because we have a very big problem in the city of San Francisco. Y el problema es que el señor Willie Brown desde el año pasado prometió crear 850 trabajos para este tipo de trabajadores de GA y CalWorks. And the problem is that Mr. Willie Brown last year promised us 850 jobs for folks who do this work, people on GA and CalWorks. Y yo soy una de las personas que hacía este tipo de trabajo, hacía 32 horas a la semana en una agencia comunitaria. I was one of those people who did that work. I worked 32 hours a week at a non-profit. Por una cantidad mínima que me daban para mantener a mis 2 hijos no era suficiente. And they would give me such a low wage that obviously wasn't enough to be able to support my 2 children. Y ese trabajo tampoco me permitía ganar puntos para agarrar un trabajo de la ciudad. And that job also wasn't helping me gain any sort of quote-unquote sort of points or requirements to then be able to get a city-paid job. Ya que hay muchos trabajadores que en la ciudad hacen el mismo trabajo que yo y yo no estaba bien pagada. And there's a lot of city workers that were doing the same work that I was doing, and they were getting paid more and I wasn't. Y eso, por ejemplo, para pagar una renta aquí en San Francisco no me alcanzaba. Para comprar suficiente comida para llevar a mis hijos a la mesa tampoco me alcanzaba. To be able to pay rent here in San Francisco, it wasn't enough. To be able to bring food to the table for my children, it wasn't enough. Y ahora necesitamos una solución. Estamos aquí todos reunidos para decir al alcalde que no rompa sus promesas. And what we need is a solution to tell the mayor not to break his promises. Porque nosotros somos los que sabemos qué es lo que necesitamos. Because we're the ones who know what it is that we need. Y no vamos a esperar para mañana. Ahora él tiene que salir o darnos un compromiso de que el día de hoy va a empezar a crear trabajos. And what we need is we don't need a promise tomorrow. We need a commitment from him today that he's going to start funding those jobs. Y no solo el mayor Willie Brown, sino también esto incluye a los supervisores que ellos se han comprometido también con nosotros y no lo han cumplido. And also, this is not only Mayor Brown, but it's also the Board of Supervisors that needs to make this commitment to fund those jobs. Okay, muchas gracias a todos por haber venido. So I want to thank everybody for having come. Ahora, ¿qué queremos? ¡Trabajo! ¡Trabajo! What do we want? ¿Qué queremos? ¿Cuándo? What do we want? When do we want them?
next up, like we've shown before, this coalition brought together folks from labor, folks from the community, folks from religious organizations, a coalition that's strong enough to be able to get all of what it is that we deserve. We deserve more than just $10 an hour, which is the living wage. We deserve more than the $8 an hour for the Community Jobs Initiative. We deserve free housing, free health care, free transportation, quality education, no prisons. We deserve all of that stuff, and the only way that we're going to get it is if we fight for it. Somebody who's been in the fight for a long, long time, from SEIU 790, Frank Martin del Campo.
I'm here to proudly represent Local 790, the City Workers Union, in this just and necessary, regretfully, demonstration to secure community jobs. What we were promised was welfare to work, but now the issue is what kind of work? Do we want to move from welfare to working poor and stay there forever, never to acquire skills, sufficient employment, housing, to be a permanent part of a working class always kept in chains at the worst possible jobs, under the worst possible conditions? Is this what we accept as welfare to work? Well, we don't either. On behalf of our members of Local 790, we proudly say we are not here to protect the jobs for the few. We're here to unite with all working people, the working poor, and the poor, because we know that no matter how powerful we ever are as our union, our power is not based on those we speak to. Our power is based on those we work with and struggle for. So it's out of that clarity. So in that regard, we're proudly here as a union to proclaim our support, and we say that we cannot, for 1 minute, not support this demand because of the following reason. The solution that's being offered in the public sector is to have two tiers. It's to have some people working at higher rated jobs and some people working at lower. What this creates is a race to the bottom. And we know that in order to ensure that we all have better conditions, we have solidarity amongst all workers. We accept no differences or distinctions. That is the consciousness of our union. That is the struggle to which we unite with, and that's a leadership under Power's direction that we proudly join in, and thank you for your time. Thanks to our members who are here today.
So folks, we just got a couple more speakers. And then we're going to head on the way out to the Board of Supervisors hearing room. Up there, we're only going to be up there for like 15 minutes. 15 minutes to give the Budget Committee, the Finance Committee, and the Board of Supervisors a view of exactly how many people support the Community Jobs Initiative. Is everybody down for walking up some stairs for the Community Jobs Initiative? Our next speaker is another recipient of General Assistance. Now, you all may be getting the impression that there are a lot of low-income folks who've been speaking. A lot of folks who are interested in this program getting put into place. But what Power is committed to is bringing the folks who are most directly affected together to be able to fight for the solutions. They're going to create solutions to the problems that they experience in their lives. So the next speaker is Amanda Serrano.
Buenas tardes, compañeros. Estoy aquí en apoyo a la organización Power, que es una organización para la gente de los pobres y las personas que estamos en GA, ¿verdad?
So, good afternoon. My name is Amanda Serrano. I'm here with Power, supporting Power, whose organization that's fighting for poor people's rights.
Y estoy en GA, recibo $364 al mes y pago $450 de renta al mes.
So I'm on GA, I get $358 a month, but my rent is $450.
Entonces, eso o sea, no me alcanza ni para la renta y tengo que pagar en medicinas, en teléfono y los gastos, los biles de la casa y en lo que...
So one, that's not enough even for rent, but that doesn't include food, medicine, and the bills that I have to pay for my house.
Y también estoy aquí para decirle al señor alcalde de dónde están las promesas, dónde están los 850 trabajos que él prometió darnos.
So I'm here to tell Mr. Mayor, where are the jobs that he promised us? Where are they?
Que nos dé los trabajos que prometió, que tenga palabra, que no sea mentiroso, que no juegue con los sentimientos de los pobres.
So that he actually keep his word. Where is it that he honor his word? That he stop being a liar and follow through on the promise he made and not to play with poor people's feelings.
Porque si quiere respeto, que respete a los pobres también. Porque nosotros queremos trabajo, no queremos vivir de limosna, queremos demostrarle a él que podemos trabajar y que podemos ganar dinero también. Como él.
One of the things we want to make sure is that he knows that he needs to respect us. Just like he demands respect, we want him to respect us. We're not asking for any handouts, we're asking for jobs so that we can be able to work. So that's what we're here for.
Queremos trabajos permanentes con salarios dignos, ¿ok? Y un día me gustaría que él se ocupara un día en ir a hacer trabajos comunitarios como lo hacemos muchos de nosotros, a ver qué se siente.
What we want is jobs that are going to pay us a living wage, jobs that are going to be dignified. And what we want him to be able to do one day so he can actually understand is go out there and work and do the work we're doing so he can realize what difficult the job is.
Queremos trabajos y solamente trabajos. Gracias.
So we want work. We just want work. Thank you.
So our next speaker, we just got a couple more speakers like I said. Our next speaker from Local 250, Howard Wallace.
Thank you. I feel a special responsibility to be here today because when we started about 3 years ago, the living wage movement, we made it clear, all our coalition made it clear that the people who were most behind would not be left behind. And we would go on fighting for inclusion of the most disregarded workers. That time is today to continue and complete that fight. You know, the politicians, the political class, and the money class in society are very good at juggling. All they need is to do a little juggling to include you in the budget. It's a small item. It's something that the people who just ripped off the city with their lawsuit is something that the energy giants who just ripped off the state of California of our surplus in the budget consider petty cash. Well, we're entitled to that money. You're entitled to that money. And nothing, no power gets away without a fight. And I know you're up to the fight. And thank you for being here today. And next Sunday, I hope you join us in the Pride at Work contingent behind this banner, marching down the street in solidarity with lesbian and gay people, 500,000 of them, and let them see that banner and let them see you in the streets on Sunday, 10 o'clock on Beale Street between Mission and Howard. Just remember, Beale Street between Mission and Howard, 10 o'clock Sunday. Thank you.
Our next speaker from the Coalition for Ethical Welfare Reform, Juliet Spoon-Toomey.
Hi. The coalition came together about 5 years ago when the federal government decided that they were going to devolve responsibility for poor families onto the states and the cities. And we knew we needed to raise our voices here in San Francisco so that some kind of an ethical program would exist for our families. But instead, what we have found is that our families are restricted. They can only stay on welfare for a short time, and they are forced into low-wage jobs. And if they don't get one of those low-wage jobs, they are forced into community service for even lower amounts of money. And one of the the things that our poor families do not want to do is to be pitted against other poor and low-income people in the city. What this is about is human dignity for all of us. Our latest census has shown that families have declined and are leaving our city. African Americans are leaving our city. We are losing a lot of what is at the essence of a wonderful community. We must not let that happen, and we must be in solidarity with folks on general assistance, with folks on welfare reform, and with low-income workers, and struggle together. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights declares that a wage sufficient to maintain our family is a human right. We are only asking for our human rights, a living wage for all.
All right, folks, our last speaker. Our last speaker's about to come up, and then what we want everybody here to do is file their way in the building. We're going to go up to the second floor to let the Board of Supervisors know that we want the Community Jobs Initiative funded. On your way in, we want everybody to drop your, what are they called? They're like picket signs. That's what they're called. They're called picket signs. Drop them by the door because we can't bring those inside, all right? So our last speaker from the Center for Young Women's Development, Latifah Simon.
If everybody could, we about to go in, so if everybody can kind of come right here. Repeat after me. I said, we want a victory. We want a victory. Come on now. We want a victory. We want a victory. SF is our city. SF is our city. I said, we want a victory. I said, we want a victory. And can't nobody hear us. I said, we want a victory. We want a victory. Because SF is our city. Because SF is our city. All right, so we're about to go up, and we are not asking for anything out of the ordinary. Poor people are asking, demanding to work. Check that out. Poor people are asking to work for living wage jobs. What is rocket science about that, right? There is a misconception all over the country that folks on welfare do not want to work. Is that right? No! We got thousands of people that have been organizing for years saying that not only do we want to work, we want to feed our children. Not only do we want to work, but we want to have homes over our heads. Not only do we want to work, but we want to organize for change so that this country is a better place for our children. All right, so we want a victory. We want a victory. Now the SF Board of Supervisors ain't going to be hearing this. Come on now. We want a victory. We want a victory. Because SF is our city. Because SF is our city. Okay, what do we want? We want jobs, right? What do we want? Jobs. What do we want? Jobs. What do we want? Jobs. What do we want? Jobs.
Are we ready to fight? Yeah! Are we ready to fight? Yeah! All right, so everybody on your way in, drop off your picket signs and make your way through the metal detectors. The metal
Item 100, consider the annual budget for human welfare and neighborhood development, community health, and board of appeals.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, supervisors, voters, the first budget is the adult and aging services budget being on page 1 of our report for today. Just a couple of comments. As you know, in the fiscal year 2000-2001, the Department of Aging and Adult Services was created by combining the Public Administrative Public Guardian and the Mental Health Conservatory and the Commission on Aging. So this $4.3 million increase in this particular department's budget is primarily due to the department now transferring the Adult Protective Services program from the Department of Human Services. On page 5, our recommendations, the first recommendation is no savings. It is simply going from a health worker free to change in classification G. The nutrition savings, $9,156, the bottom of page 6, related to employee benefits, $21.95. Cars replacement, $49,000 on page 7. Nutrition savings, $15,390. Friends benefits, $36.84. Other current expenses, $10,000 on page 8. Temporary salaries, $5,000. Furniture, $383. On page 9.
Everything I've heard this evening, the passengers' effort to consolidate these services successful. Question for Mr. Rose. I'm looking at the under the Senior Central Development, the item that's 1.4, 1.48. I'm noticing that the original fiscal year 2000-2001 was 1.5. And it went up considerably. Was that due to supplemental from the revised?
Mr. Chairman, members, Supervisor Gonzalez, can I ask you, you have a page number?
Yeah, page 1. Page 1. Okay. Program expenditure, Senior Central Development. We've got 3.5 for last year. We've got 1.48. And I'm just wondering whether the 2 million influx in the original budget was revised.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, Supervisor Gonzalez, there was a $2+ million supplemental, and that's why that budget comes down for senior services, and that's why the new fiscal year did not have that particular item. It was at one time.
The kind of supplemental in the finance committee, Supervisor Bailey's on to. So has that only been expended?
I guess we'll start out. If you could tell us your name.
Ajá, sí, mi nombre es Nora Calderon.
So my name is Nora Calderon.
And how were you able to support your family?
¿Y cómo usted apoya a su familia?
Estaba en el programa de CalWorks.
So I'm in the CalWorks program.
How many members do you have in your family?
¿Cuántas personas tienen en su familia?
Somos 3.
So there's 3 of us.
And how much did you earn on CalWorks?
¿Y cómo usted ganó en CalWorks?
De primero me daban $522.
So in the beginning they gave me $522
En dinero de cheque.
in cash, in check.
Y me daban $181 de estampillas.
And they gave me around $181 of food stamps.
How were you able to survive on that?
¿Y cómo usted sobrevivió?
En el principio con ese dinero era muy difícil para mí porque tenía que estar yendo a limpiar casas.
So in the beginning it was very difficult for me to try to survive with this amount of money. I was going and doing domestic work on the side, cleaning houses to try to make more to be able to live.
Pero el trabajar implicó más problemas para mí.
But then going and doing this work then brought up other problems in terms of, gave me other problems to deal with.
Porque aparte de que tenía que hacer 32 horas para CalWorks,
Because aside from that, I had to go do 32 hours a week of work to receive my CalWorks check.
cuando empecé a reportar lo que yo limpiaba de las casas, empezaron a reducir mis beneficios.
And then when I started reporting that I was making other money on the side from cleaning houses, then they started reducing my benefits.
Y esto desde el año pasado he sido homeless a causa de la reducción de beneficios.
And because of this for about the last,
En agosto del año pasado.
So since last August, I've been homeless as a result of sort of this reduction of benefits.
Y ahorita son pocos beneficios. Me dan $81 de estampillas al mes.
So right now, my benefits are still lower. There's not that much. Right now, I'm only getting about $81 a month in food stamps.
Y entre más dinero reporte que gano, más me quitan.
And the more money I end up reporting that I'm making, the more I end up getting cut.
Y eso es muy difícil para mí tratar de sobrevivir.
And so it's very difficult for me. It's a real struggle to try to survive.
What kind of work did you do for the CalWorks grant?
¿Qué tipo de trabajo usted hizo para recibir el cheque?
Ellos me mandaban a una agencia comunitaria a limpiar baños.
So I got sent to a community agency to clean bathrooms.
Cuando la organización tenía alguna junta, tenía que acomodar las sillas.
So, for instance, when the agency would have some sort of meeting, I would end up having to arrange or set up the seating for stuff.
Para limpiar, tenía que limpiar las mesas.
So clean tables.
El piso.
Clean the floor.
Las paredes.
Clean the walls.
Las puertas.
Clean the doors.
Tenía que hacer todo lo que ellos me mandaban.
So basically, I had to do whatever they made me do or asked me to do.
Estuve 18 meses en jornada de empleo de CalWorks.
¿Cómo jornada de empleo?
Ellos llamaban jornada de empleo, o sea, como un entrenamiento.
So I was 18 months. They call it sort of.
Entrenamiento.
Like they call it job training essentially. And I was 18 months doing that.
Pero eso no me ayudaba de nada.
But this didn't help me for anything.
Porque aparte de que yo hacía eso, que limpiaba mis casas, ellos me quitaban el dinero que yo limpiaba mis casas.
Because then, even though I did that work for them, when I went and did the other work that I needed to survive, to cleaning houses, they still cut my check, even though I had done the other 32 hours a week that I had to do for CalWorks.
Hacía que ellos han hecho muy difícil para mí sobrevivir acá.
So then they've made it very difficult for me to survive here.
Do you want to take over?
Okay, sure. Okay. Nora, can you tell me what a living wage would mean to you? And when I say that, I mean, what could you do for your family? What could you buy for your family and yourself on a living wage that you really can't afford now?
Usted está preguntando si como que un salario digno significará para usted en hacer esta pregunta. Si está diciendo que cómo sería su vida diferente, qué podría como comprar si tenía un salario digno que no puede comprar para usted y su familia ahora.
Pues con un salario digno podría darles mejor educación a mis hijos.
So I mean, with a living wage, I could give a better education to my children.
A tener dinero para comprarles ropa.
To have money to buy them clothes.
Su jabón para bañarlos.
Get soap so they can bathe.
Y tener oportunidad de poderlos un día llevar a comer a un restaurante.
And have the opportunities, someday to take them out to eat to a restaurant.
And now on the grant or the wage that you're earning, what are the basic things that you were able to buy for your
¿Qué son las cosas básicas que usted puede comprar por el cheque que recibe por CalWorks?
Nada.
It's nothing, really.
Nada, porque tengo que... Nada.
Nothing because I have to, nothing. Really nothing.
Can you tell us what a typical workday or workday is for you, including your workday as a mother of children?
Si usted puede hablar de cómo es un día típico de trabajo para usted, incluyendo como el trabajo que usted hace como madre.
Pues un día típico empieza desde las 5 de la mañana.
So I guess a typical day would start around 5 o'clock in the morning.
Como ahorita estoy homeless, es más difícil para mí.
So right now, because I'm homeless, it's a little bit more difficult for me.
Tengo que estar 15 días en casa de una amiga.
So I've been the last 15 days in the house of a friend.
Tengo que estar 15 días en otra casa.
So then I'm gonna have to end up spending another 15 days in another house.
Y después toma mucho tiempo llegar aquí a San Francisco.
So then after that, sort of getting up, it takes me a while to get over here to San Francisco.
Después de dejar a mis niños en la escuela,
After that, I leave my kids off at school.
tengo que ir a limpiar de 8:30 de la mañana a 1 de la tarde. Ya tengo que estar terminadas. He limpiado 3 casas.
So then after that, dropping my kids off to school, starting from around 8:30 in the morning till around 1, I'll probably end up cleaning houses. I end up cleaning about 3 different houses that I have to clean.
La cosa es que tengo que hacer 3 casas, tengo que hacerlo en pocas horas y trabajar muy rápido.
And the thing is, I have to do these 3 houses, and I have to do it in very few hours from 8:30 to 1, so I have to work really quickly.
Para poder tener dinero y llevar en la tarde un plato de comida para mis hijos.
So to be able to have some food and then be able to bring back lunch or food in the afternoon for my kids.
Y tratar de salvar dinero para tener para el camión de otro día.
And then try to have money to save
Para la transportación.
and then to try to save money to have for the bus or for other transportation later on in the afternoon.
Y después de llegar a trabajar, de hacer las casas, vengo aquí a la organización Power para hacer organizarnos.
So then usually after then cleaning the house in the morning, I'll come over here to Power to spend some time doing some work trying to organize.
Donde hacemos llamadas de teléfono para las juntas.
You know, we'll end up calling people to let them know about meetings that are coming.
Para enseñar a la gente qué tan difícil es la vida aquí en San Francisco.
To let folks know and talk to folks around how difficult life is here in San Francisco.
Y después de ya como algunos días después a las 5:30 o 6 de la tarde.
So then some days I'll be here till about 5:30 or 6 in the afternoon.
Tengo que recoger a mis niños.
I have to go get my kids.
Irme para mi casa.
And go back home.
Llegar y hacerles su cena.
So then get there, make dinner for my kids.
Bañarlos.
You know, make sure they take a bath, bathe them.
Ponerlos a dormir.
And put them to sleep.
Y después de que ellos duermen, agarrar un tiempo para mí y pensar qué es lo que tengo que hacer, cómo lo voy a hacer para poder viajar mañana otra vez.
And then after they go to sleep, have some time for myself and spend time thinking about what is it that I have to do tomorrow or how I'm gonna have to go around and do different stuff.
Por ejemplo, hoy mi cheque ha estado retardado.
So, ¿cómo retardado?
O sea, no he recibido mi cheque del mes de junio.
So, for instance, today my check has been late, so I haven't got my check yet from June.
Y en la mañana tenía para subir al tren, no me fijé, entré al tren y traía solo $1.55.
So for this morning, for instance, I was trying to get here on the train, but I didn't have enough money to be able to make the amount of money you need for the train. I only had like $1.55.
Y cuando quise salir del tren, no podía salir.
So then when I wanted to leave the train, I couldn't leave.
Porque el pasaje era $2.75.
Because the amount of money I needed for the train ride was $2.75.
Y tuve que decir a la gente del bar que no tenía dinero.
And I had to tell the people on bar that I didn't have any money.
Y le hice la promesa que cuando tenía yo iba a agarrar un ticket y lo iba a pagar.
So that,
yo dije a él que cuando yo ganara mejor dinero iba a pagar.
Right. So then when I told